Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave your judgment and advice in the comments. My 36-year-old boyfriend says he doesn't want to have children anymore. Should I leave or give him time? I'm a 27-year-old woman. We're together for 1 year. We moved in together pretty quickly because of COVID, and it worked out well. We love each other, and I genuinely feel that we fit well in many aspects. On our second date we had a short talk regarding having kids in the future, and he said that potentially he'd like to have them someday. I said the same. However, recently he started to change on the matter. I need your advice whether I should stay with him or move on. So 1 year later, just a week ago, I've asked him again the same question, and this time he said he thinks that his opinion on the matter has changed, and he probably doesn't want to have children in the future. We didn't have a fight over it, we talked quietly and listened to each other, but of course I was mortified inside. He said he's sorry that he had a different opinion on that on our early date. He also said that COVID may have influenced his opinion on that. That he doesn't understand what his life would be like, that he's having a hard time making choices, that such big responsibility as children is beyond him. That he doesn't feel if he would really enjoy it like other people. That he hasn't really lived yet. That the restrictions, responsibility and risks that children bring to our lives are too big. Currently he earns good money and was going to buy a house in 2 to 3 years. I'm finishing my studies and will most probably a well-paying job very soon as well, because I have gathered some work experience while studying, and the job is in IT. So the finances shouldn't be the biggest problem. My parents also live nearby, and are eager to help with my future kids. They are asking for them now and then. Also, we live in Germany, and in general you can count on state support here, although of course I don't want to get into a situation when I'd have to use external support. My opinion on having children is that it's an amazing experience, and despite a lot of potential complications it's definitely worth it. People have kids in way worse situations than ours. I'm having a hard time in understanding whether I should wait till Corona is over just to see whether it's just temporary, or it's just in his character, and it won't change. He's a pretty relaxed and lazy person. I'm doing most of the chores while also studying and working. If we had kids, he'd help me out if I requested, but wouldn't be an initiative parent. He's the youngest kid in his family and he's still a bit childish. I love him, and I didn't mind these things, if we just would be together and supported each other. But not ever having kids is not an option for me. I want to ask you whether you think I should stay, or it's not worth it, and I should move on. P.S. I've talked to my dad on the topic. He is in his early 50s, and recently he has, by accident, got a child with his girlfriend. All the time until the birth he wasn't happy about the situation, but right now he says he's genuinely enjoying raising a kid. Currently my little brother is 3 years old. My dad has told me that some people just need external force in big decisions. But it feels weird to me, forcing someone in this aspect. I think both partners should really want it, or there is a big risk of lives of parents being destroyed and the child being unloved by one of them. Or am I too naive and my dad is right? I feel that I deserve better and should look for someone who'd enjoy the new family as much as me. But there is a chance I'm too idealistic, and there would be never a right time or a partner. Sorry, she's quite sexist. Mom says that men are egoistically interested in themselves, and most of them don't want to have kids, but they live with it if they love the woman they're together with. So her conclusion is that he's not interested in me in particular. With my guts I don't feel it. I feel loved and appreciated, but also I feel that he fears of such a big thing like having children. Should I wait till our finances are stable, I mean when I find a full-time job, and when Corona is over, and talk of it again? Or you think I would only lose my time and I have to move forward now? Now for some comments. I would be absolutely clear with him that it is a deal breaker. Give him a set amount of time, maybe 6 months. Tell him you respect his choices and would never want to force him into having kids, but if he isn't interested, then nor are you, and agree to go your separate ways if he still decides he doesn't want children. Also, I can't agree with your mom. Loads of guys want kids and really enjoy being part of raising them. Leave. Don't waste any more time if having kids is important to you. Kids are hard and both parents should be enthusiastic about it. What's going to happen when an infant's keeping you up all night and you're exhausted and he feels like I didn't really want this anyway, so why should I give up anything? Is that what you want from your parenting partner? Your mom is wrong. Lots of men want to be fathers and lots of men are really great at it. Sorry he lied to you. That seems super manipulative. You may or may not want to give your BF a little more time, but the likelihood of him changing his mind is low, I'd say less than 20%. Men over 35 tend to become set in their ways. I also wouldn't be surprised if COVID were ultimately to scare a lot of people away from having kids. I don't know what you mean by forcing things, but that's not a good idea. Your dad's girlfriend got lucky. Men don't usually bond with their kids in quite the same way that women do, but of course there are lots of great dads in the world. Perhaps the best way to sum it up is that bad fathers and bad mothers tend to be bad in different ways. How to let go and move on from past. A few months ago me, F, 20, and my boyfriend, M, 21, of a year were having sex and everything was going great. He got on top of me to kiss me after he finished and cleaned up and then slipped inside of me. I guess I seemed okay, but inside I was freaking out. I guess I had just been so scared of something bad happening and my brain decided that something awful was happening. We did use nonverbal communication a lot since we'd been dating a while, so he started going again. I asked if we were going again, and I said round 2 and I said okay. A few minutes later I asked him to stop, so he did immediately. After a few minutes I was shaking and started breaking down. He was so confused because he didn't understand what happened. A few days later I broke up with him because I kept thinking about what happened. I guess I just let fear control me even though this should have been fine. In addition, I started therapy and I realized I was molested by a brother when I was little. I repressed my trauma, and I have some religious trauma from purity culture, so I always had a weird view of relationships. In addition, I think growing up in the Me Too movement has made me really paranoid about consent and men doing bad things and built into mistrust of men. I just freaked so much and didn't know how to feel, so I talked to my friends and sister and one of them said he assaulted me because he didn't have consent because he didn't ask, but I realized that not really a fair assessment, but that still freaked me out. We started talking again and I realized how crazy I had been with everything, but it did still freak me out. I apologized for how I'd been and went into detail about my past. I miss him so much and I want to get back together, but it's complicated because we were long distance. I just want to be okay again and be comfortable with him again. How can I do this? How can I trust him again and let go of the past? Is there too much damage? Did he do something truly wrong, or is this just a trigger response? TLDR, freaked out during sex and broke up over it. Now I realized he didn't do anything wrong, and we want to get back together, but I don't know how to let go of it all. Now for some comments. Please don't go back into a relationship until you've sorted out your own healing. I appreciate you freaked out because of what happened to you in the past, but you've also been unfair to him. He stopped when you asked. Now you have a friend who said he assaulted you. What happens if your friend badmouths him to others? He has to deal with that stain and it's difficult to get rid of. Honestly, there's a lot of I in your post and very little consideration for him. I know what will help. Time. Time heals almost every wound. You committed to healing the second you went to therapy. Talk with him and maybe you two could do some time without sex. Or you try being the active part and in control. About your past, I am very sorry. I can't even imagine what you have gone through. You didn't deserve to be treated like that. I have trust issues as well due to some childhood trauma and struggle a lot being in relationships right now. It is hard to trust someone, and ideally better to go into relationships with healed scares. But I think it could work even better if you have someone who loves you and you can open your personality to. I think you just need to tell him what triggers you, what scares you, and how you can minimize opportunity to be triggered again. With therapy you will move forward, and safe relationships will be a place for you to feel comfortable and secured. If this boyfriend is a loving, caring person who wants only the best for you and you love him as well, this is a great opportunity to move forward with support and love. Hopefully you will feel much better in future. I understand you, and your fears as well. It is very normal. Good luck. In love after 3 weeks and he wants to get married. 3 weeks ago, I, 22F, visited another college student, 24M, that I matched with on Tinder. We chatted some before meeting and I just went over to his apartment to hang out. I spent the night and we had seen each other almost every day since then. It has been a very quick relationship. I pretty much moved in with him. We fell in love very quickly. He told me he loves me after 2 weeks. I know he does. Just the way he looks at me and the way he kisses me. I know he does. Just the way he looks at me and the way he kisses me. I know he does. Just the way he looks at me and the way he kisses me. I know he does. Just the way he looks at me and the way he kisses me. I know he does. Just the way he looks at me and the way he kisses me. I know he does. Just the way he looks at me and the way he kisses me. I know he does. Just the way he looks at me and the way he kisses me. I know he does. Just the way he looks at me and the way he kisses me. I know he does. Just the way he looks at me and the way he kisses me. I know he does. Just the way he looks at me and the way he kisses me. I know he does. Just the way he looks at me and the way he kisses me. I know he does. Just the way he looks at me and the way he kisses me. I know he does. Just the way he looks at me and the way he kisses me. I know he does. Just the way he looks at me and the way he kisses me. I know he does. Just the way he looks at me and the way he kisses me. I know he does. Just the way he looks at me I love him too. With all of my heart. It is just moving very fast. Spending so much time together, loving each other, etc. I'm concerned it is going too fast. He told his family about me and that he loves me. He's from the Middle East studying in America. I speak Arabic, so that has helped us connect, and I have been showing him everything I love about America. He has had a difficult time adjusting to American culture and was planning to go home after this year. Now he says he is more comfortable and likes being in America with me. He says he wants to get married to me. We love each other so much and I want to be with him. This cultural difference is an issue for us. We haven't even been together a month. I can't marry him yet. In the West, it is considered normal to wait over a year to get married. In the Middle East, people get married as soon as they know they are in love. He feels rejected and I feel lost. My parents divorced when I was very young and would always fight. I want our children to be in a stable family, and I want to take our time and do things slowly and make sure we are building a good future together. He told me he doesn't want to lose me and is scared. I don't want him to feel heartbroken. We are madly in love and feel very hard for each other. So, I know we are both a little crazy from the feeling. He isn't trying to pressure me, just wants to live together as a married couple. I was wondering if anyone had advice for us. Most Americans would think it is crazy to get married after a month of dating. His mother thinks it is crazy that he is in love with me and hasn't married me yet. We went over children, finances, religion, etc., and are the same on those things. We are having trouble dealing with some of the cultural differences around how soon to get married though. Now for some comments. I mean, it's not normal in the West to move this fast, and I think it may have to with a tendency to be more equal partners and not a patriarchal arrangement. He may feel rejected, but part of cross-cultural relationships are accenting others' cultures. Knee-jerk reaction is to allow the honeymoon phase to end and see how things are when the newness fades. Pump the brakes. You had the important conversations, which, great job, but you honestly have no idea how the reality of those conversations play out. That's where you get your experience from and make the best decision for you and your future. People can say anything they want, but you can trust their actions. If you two are truly destined for each other, you'll be destined to be together when you can make a more informed decision. You can know you're going to marry someone and still take your time to get there. Give yourself a chance to truly get to know each other. I fell in love very fast, said I love you in a very similar time frame. I wanted to get married really quick too, and he was more about taking our time. We are still together 5 years later and I'm really glad we have taken the time. I know we are going to get married when it's right, probably would have done it this year aside from COVID. So be excited, but allow yourself to actually develop a deep love. Thanks for watching. Until next time.